Yahoo! Hello everyone, hello class. Hello, I saw there were noises happening, there were things happening. What's the haps? Hello everybody, hello. Welcome to class. How you guys doing? We're hand camming it today. Let's see what we got here. Seribot as always. So we are painting today. I even did a test run, but I also want to show you guys some cool tarot cards as well while I'm at it. But let's see who we have here. Seishun, hello. Matthew, hello. Alpaca, hello. You guys got your stickers. Get your stickers, everyone. Get your stickers. Matthew, you got your sticker. Folk, you got your sticker. That's the sound I heard. Mega Bronson, thank you for the 20 months. That's amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's freaking go. Yahoo! You got your sticker as well. And Alpaca's vibing to the music. Nice. I'm actually listening to some future funk right now. You guys are gonna be able to hear it soon. I'm also vibing right now. Beeplebees, hello. Mayshark, hello. Welcome. Before I eat, hello. Yes, get some rest. I know it's late over there in sea time. Fugubi, hello. There's so many stickers, right? Currently over the moon and why my new Twitter and Discord. Yeah, I think I saw it while I was on my Pau Pandan account. I was like, oh, that's so cute. It's so cute. Very nice. Mayshark saying hello to everyone. Yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? I already have my tracking set up. I have my hand cam set up, so let's get to class. Hello, everyone. Hello. As you can see, I still have an apple on my head. And as you can see, the classroom is still a little overgrown. I feel like, would it be funny if I just kept adding and it just got more and more overgrown? Like, you can't even see the whiteboard anymore. I mean, you guys still have to see the content, right? You guys still have to see, like, the projector screen and stuff like this, right? But I feel like it would fit the fact that I am, in fact, a sun bear. Yeah, the fleshy hand gloves, they're back. They're back. In pog form. Yeah, we have a hand cam thing going on today. So I have 2 boxes here. I got some markers. This box has a new tarot card deck that I mentioned in Random Stream, and I even posted about it in his Discord. 3D 4K rendering hand cam, exactly. But there's like a weird glitch where it shows my paws like this, right? It's a bit strange, in it? Bit peculiar. We open stream and it's just a still image of a dense forest while you talk about stuff we can't see for 3 hours. It's like, whoa, this game's awesome. This new Digimon Time Stranger game is so cool. And it's like just forest. Like, you might be able to see like a smidge of a Digimon. It's like, I think that's Gomamon's eye. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. You guys can see it, right? This is so cool. The graphics are so nice. Or I'm doing like a hand cam and it's like, do you guys think this color is neat? Wait, what do you guys think about this color? And it's like, you just see like this the entire time. That would be a good bit. That would be a good bit. I don't know. I still have an apple. I have the Magritte apple from yesterday on my head. It fell from the trees above there, so it's just stuck. I don't know. I don't know what else I can do about it. Really, truly. But yeah, so we have a tarot card deck. I'm not gonna be doing any tarot readings. Maybe for myself. I don't have the redeem open to do tarot readings because I just don't have the energy for it at the moment. But I just want to show off the deck. It's so cool. And then the main thing that we're gonna be doing for today is actually we're gonna be doing some coloring. I got this from Japan. I showed it off during my another previous hand cam stream. Just put this here. I think the sticker goes on the bottom. It's all forest. What do you mean it's all forest? It's just forest. Why are you watching? Why are you trying to watch Digimon Time Stranger streams in the forest? Time to throw hands. Good morning, church. It is still actually morning. I looked at my clock. I was like, oh wait, yeah, it's still morning. Good morning, church. So I have here a daruma from Japan. It's from the Asakusa part of Tokyo. You summon the cats. Pet the cats. There you go. They're just chilling. It's a daruma. Isn't it cute? There is light shining through my window, so it is a little bit of glare, but I think it's neat. And it is all white, except for I tried to test out. Yeah, you could see it. I tried to test out how the POSCA markers would apply on it, and it looks pretty good. I'd say it looks pretty good. Like, it kind of shows on the camera. Unless I do this, then you can't see it. But that's just the glare. So the plan is to. I bought this because I thought it was neat that I can just design my own daruma. I was a little like unsure of what I would do. Like, would I do, you know, Babinka style daruma, like make it purple, blurple even, and this is like my snoot. But then recently they actually came out with a daruma digimon that PeopleBees is mentioning in the chat right now. I know I'm missing some messages. I'll catch up in a bit. Oh, and I guess it's also a piggy bank. The only thing is I don't got nothing for the bottom, but there's also a sticker. I feel like the sticker is meant to go over, right? So there was a Digimon that was just revealed. We went over it yesterday, but I think I am able to also pull it up. Give me a second. Oh, pure ref is there. Where is my pure ref though? Is it hiding? Yeah, there we go. There we go. So that's our reference. Okay. So this is a new Digimon. Isn't it cool? It's called Darumamon. It's based off of Darumas. So I'm gonna basically try to paint this Daruma in that same style. The only thing is we can't put the legs and the tail. Technically we can actually. I do have something. I do have an art supply that I can use to add that, but I just don't think we're gonna have enough time to do that today. Because I do have a hard stop once again because I want to play Digimon card game. So I have Model Magic. It's a type of like air dry clay. It's if you already have sculpting experience with like actual clay, this stuff is like it's kind of wonky and it's very much just made to be kid friendly, you know? No mess, pretty easy to mold, but I don't know, it just doesn't quite hold up to actual Ooh, a fun fact. It doesn't quite hold up to like the same thing as like clay, you know. It doesn't quite have the same oomph. But it's good for like kids. It's good for like younger kids. So let me catch up on chat, and then I saw that beeplebees wants me to share a fun fact. So let's see where we're at right now. You guys are saying hello to each other. Amerly, hello. You guys are petting Mr. Pancakes. Good job. He needs it. Darumamon merch. Guys, they made Darumamon merch. Are you talking about the thing that I'm gonna be coloring right now? Or did they actually make it? If so. Did you guys notice, by the way, for certain redeems, I have this little sparkle effect around my face? It's like behind me, you see the sparkles? That's supposed to be like a visual, like, reminder to myself. Because let's say chat is running too fast and I just miss it. I'm like, why is there sparkles? Oh, someone wants me to share a fun fact. So I will get to that. Twisty, hello, hello. Darudemon. Sandstorm! Darudemon. Let's see. Give us a fun Daruma fact. I actually don't know too much Daruma facts other than the whole, like, lore of, like, you know, if you have a wish or a task, you're supposed to, like, fill in one eye and then you don't fill in the other eye until you complete that wish or task. But I think the only other fun fact that I can share is that there is a temple. I wasn't able to visit it, unfortunately, but in Kyoto, there's a temple. Let me see if I can at least bring up a picture for you guys. There's a temple that's just filled to the brim with these Daruma. So, Daruma Temple, Kyoto. I wasn't able to visit it because there's very few temples within, or not very few, but it was basically out of the way. There was like other temples that I wanted to visit in Kyoto, but they were very, very out of the way. Like they're closer to like the outer lying parts of Kyoto, and we were kind of staying like in the city. So and it makes sense, right? You're like a little bit closer to nature, so you are more likely to find temples like kind of on the outskirts of cities, like closer to like nature, wilderness, stuff like that. But we just lucked out on being able to visit two that were like pretty close. They were in Gion. But if you guys want to see the place, the temple is called Horinji in Kyoto. I'm gonna put some pictures. I'll do this. I'll use my pure ref right now. There we go. Here's one picture. And then I'm actually not sure if this is in Horinji or there seems to be another Daruma temple in Osaka as well. But look at that. It's filled to the brim. My scroll wheel is like being weird, but look at all these Daruma. So those are the these are like the actual Darumas that Darumamon is based off. And then this is like a temple where you see like more. I know it's very pixelated, but yeah, they have a lot. From what I've read up on, Daruma themselves, the design seems to be based off a certain I think deity? I don't remember, or I think a priest. You know what? We can also look it up. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of on-the-fly research. Oh, Wikipedia. Where's Wikipedia? Because I'm getting a lot of like websites that are like, this is the lore of Daruma, but it's gonna hit you with like 20 ads all at once. And I don't want that, so let's see. Daruma doll, according as per Wikipedia, all-around Japanese traditional doll modeled after Bodhidharma, the founder of the Zen tradition of Buddhism. Ah, okay. So it's depicting a specific guy, Bodhidharma, a Buddhist monk who lived in 56th century CE. So okay, so it's based off of a specific guy, like a specific guy's like visage, you know, but the Darumamon's design seems more so like, there's another Digimon, Digitamamon. I'll also put him on the screen. And he is egg. He is simply egg. He is simply orb. In our playthrough of Digimon World Cyber Sleuth, we made our Randon Digimon, our Ogremon, into a Digitamamon. He became orb. We orbified him. I'm orb. Oh great, now they're orb. I love that quote from Bettel. I think he was playing Needy Streamer Overload. And, you know, there's the part where she just sends the emote where it's like, I'm orb. And Bettel's like, oh great, now she's orb. I hope you guys are happy. So yeah, as you can see, this Digitamamon, he's got the little legs sticking out of the egg. You know, the little eyes. And then this seems to be just an upgrade. Is he a mega? Actually, I'm not sure if Darumamon is a mega. Because this guy, I know he seems kind of derpy, but he's an ultimate level. He's strong. He's strong. So yeah, this is going to be our reference for today's painting sesh. I was kind of worried that the texture... He's egg! I was kind of worried that the texture of the markers against the ceramic would be kind of grating. Like, you know, like nails on a chalkboard. But I tested it out and it's actually not too bad. So, if it does get a little grating, then we'll, you know, we'll see if we can pivot. But otherwise, I think it should be fine. He's egg. Orbmon when? Maybe like a level 7, like a... like an Omega level version of Digitamamon. I'm like shaking these, by the way. It's to get the ink flowing. Or not ink, but the paint. What if they make a Darumon that's either a split fall down mode or for either completing or failing your goal? Wait, that's awesome. That's such a good idea, isn't it? Because that gives me the same vibes as like Numemon, like Platinum Numemon with the wings and the bling, right? They're like maracas. Yeah. Yeah, there's like a little ball on the inside that moves around the paint that's inside, because these are literally filled with paint. And of course paint is capable of drying. So you gotta move around the ball to, like, you know, activate it a little bit. Maracas. Agitator balls. So yeah, let's see how it feels. You know what, let me move my mic because it's directly in front of my face. Let me move it here. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. And if I was loud before, then hopefully this is a little bit easier on the ears. So, oh, we'll just get started. Oh, this one needs a little bit more oomph. Oh, there we go. See, the only thing I'm scared of is we've used POSCA markers before. We've streamed, you know, me using POSCA markers before. And sometimes you need to, like, get the ink out, but sometimes a little too much will come out. The shaking is affecting me the same way jingling keys do. Oh, okay. Good to know. So that means that this isn't too much of an annoying sound. It's a good sound. It's a good thing. Oh, you know what? The inside's gonna be black, so I'm wondering if we should do that. No, let's go lightest to darkest. No, we're gonna do red. We're gonna do red first, and then we're gonna do the yellow over it. It should be fine. Should be fine. I'm realizing this is gonna be a lot of red, though. We're gonna be using a lot. But luckily, it doesn't seem like we have to do another layer, because usually when I draw on, like, some kind of paper... Actually, let me see. I feel like this should also be red. Usually I have to do more than one layer. But this is pretty opaque. This is covering pretty nicely. Usually you do like another layer to cover up like the stroke lines, but it doesn't seem like I need to do that, so. But I do need to keep on shika, you know? Shika. The ball is to mix the paint from separation. Ah, okay. I thought it was just to like activate the, there we go. Activate the paint inside, you know, from, make sure that it doesn't dry up. But in retrospect, sometimes I'll go months without using these bad boys. Uh-oh. I'll go months without using these markers, and they won't dry. So I was spreading misinformation. Uh-oh. So this was like already in the process of drying, and I like did a stroke over it, and now there's like a weird texture, but hopefully it should be fine. The only thing is it's starting to like dry out already, so I gotta keep on, like, you know, making sure there's a lot of ink in there. I keep saying ink, I mean paint. There we go. So we're already covering up. I did a yellow spot earlier just as like a test to see if like the... There we go. Just to see like if it's gonna make like a grating, like nails on a chalkboard noise, and so far it's fine, you know. So far it's nothing too like bad, too bothersome. Shika shika. Yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna go for. But I do have to stop around like 1-ish. There you go. But I can also go up until like I want to say like 1:30 because I'm gonna be playing in my locals again, my Digimon TCG locals. See, I'm using some of the lingo. Maybe the tip is dry and that's why the paint flow isn't happening. I'm like scared. You might be right, but I'm also scared. I'm scared of like just putting too much paint and then like it just drips down, you know? Makes a mess. Heart of the cards. Yeah, I'm using the lingo. I am now a locals player. See, just a couple of weeks. No, actually a month. Okay, let's try it out. Let's try it out. I have paper towels handy just in case, but let's just see what happens. If we press down all the way. There we go. We got all that paint. Oh no, see, so I think I do have to be a little conservative with the paint. I think it's also the medium. The medium is like this is ceramic. Or actually, you know what? I was wrong. I think I just need to push down like a little bit harder and it'll make the flow a little bit more consistent. Yeah, that's not too bad. It does dry out a little bit faster though, that's what I'm noticing. And I might have to like do another layer just to cover up some of these stroke marks. Or I could do that, I could also just like do little dots. Heart of the cards! So yeah, as you guys have noticed from my many a stream. Oh yeah, it dries pretty quickly though, so that's good. I've been all into the Digimon TCG. I'm now like I've gotten over my my social anxiety. Not gotten over it, but it's just not as bad. So my social anxiety is no longer a barrier between me competing in events now. And I like to say that I made friends with the people that are there. They're a pretty good community. They're pretty nice. I don't know if this is the same with just MTG, not MTG, like trading card game communities in general, but like I don't know, people are helping each other out with like, oh, what kind of deck are you trying to build? Let me see if I have some spares. And I remember like when I was first there, I was like, oh, I don't have anything to trade. I'm new, you know, I don't really have like a lot of cards. And they're like, no, it's not a trade. We're just gonna give it to you, you know? And it's not even, at first I thought like, oh, is it just because I'm new? But no, like everyone kind of helps each other out. The only thing is like, it's mostly if you are not building the same deck as other people. Because there's certain decks that like kind of everyone wants to build at the moment. So it's kind of slim pickings. Like people will be like, oh, does anyone have these cards? And it's like, I do, but I'm keeping that. So is that, I don't know if anyone else here is like also, I know that Matthew, oh there we go, Matthew. It do feel good when to give the newbies the spare common stuff. Ah, okay. Yeah, that seems to be the case, like the bulk, as they say, right? Or at least that's the lingo that I've been taught. Is that the lingo, the bulk, as in like all of the commons and uncommons, you know, that everyone already has like way too much of. So they're more down to like give that out, you know. Whereas the rares, it's a maybe, and then like the like super rares is only if you're not already building that deck, right? Yeah, when I used to work at a card shop, you really see the difference in communities, and so far Digimon and One Piece are the friendliest. Nice! Okay. Dang, if you don't mind spilling the tea, then who's like the unfriendliest? Like, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a reputation, but I know nothing of it. I just see memes, you know? I just see memes, but I haven't experienced anything bad with any particular community. Yu-Gi-Oh! Then Magic! Oh no. When people get lots of boosters hoping to get expensive stuff, you get lots of bulk. Yeah, that's been my experience. Like, I've bought booster boxes in the hopes of buying in the hopes of pulling like something very specific, right? Like let's just say And also a little bit of a research opportunity for any folks that are interested. If you're like not as familiar with Digimon and you're looking for a cute, sexy lady, I was trying to draw a card. I was trying to pull a card called Lilithmon X. Actually, in retrospect, if you look that up, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna get anything too naughty, but if you look up Lilithmon X, that's who I was trying to pull. Card-wise. And so I bought an entire, like, booster box where she came from. Because, you know, you also get the dopamine, right? You also get the dopamine of like, pulling cards with the, like, oh, is it gonna be this one? Is it gonna be this one? In retrospect, now I realize that, like, just buy the single, you know? just buy it. Buy the single card, don't spend so much money on, like, a booster pack if it's not a guarantee that you're gonna get it, right? So, I didn't get the card that I wanted, but at the same time, it was fun. It's fun to, like, do those pulls. Let's see, Yu-Gi-Oh! Community people will steal-ish right out of your binder right in front of you. You've seen that video? NTG though, people will get into fist fights over dumb-ish. Oh no. Is it like rulings? Is it like, or is it people like rage quitting? Is it like, I can't believe you freaking countered me. How dare you? Dishonor on your cow. Yes. I still can't forget a kid that was barely learning Yu-Gi-Oh! Was getting yelled at by a man that was teaching him since the man was losing while teaching? No, dang it. From what I've seen, MTG players are the most likely to actually table flip? Dang, that's wild. It just reminds me of like that clip, the soundbite from I don't know if he's like Russian or some kind of European, like the hockey player, where he's like, it's only game. Why you have to be mad? It's only game. You know what? I kind of want to find that clip. Just so that I can also give time for this to dry. It dries pretty quickly, especially because I have an electric fan on right behind me. But just for a little bit of a break. It's only game. Why you have to be mad? Here, I think you guys will still be able to hear it, even if I don't show it. It's the way his voice cracks, too. Let me pause the music. It's only game. Why you have to be mad? Right? Like, I don't know. That's how I felt so far in my, like, Digimon TCG journey of, like... I haven't seen anyone too mad. I've been, like, a little frustrated when I get countered, but it's also, like, that's just how the game is. That's just the game. That's... You know? It's only game. Why you have to be mad? If you say so. But I've seen, wait, what was it? From, da-da-da-da. I have been in card places that are crazy, but the cons- Oh, the cons are nice. I see, I see. It's only game. Why you have to be mad? Also, the thing I like about Digimon TCG community is that they teach or give tips on deck build since they want to see everyone improve. Yeah, I wonder if it's because, like, it's so slim pickings, you know? Like, there's just not a lot of us. So it's like, oh my gosh, you're getting into Digimon? Yes, please, like, tell me how we can make this experience enjoyable to you, please. We need more of us. Because there are people, like, within the... Okay, I'm gonna do another little coax out the paint. Oh, it's not coming out. Oh no. Uh-oh, am I running out of ink? Do I have another red? Are we gonna have to pivot and, like, half of this guy's gonna have to be like, purple? Cause, like, the super inky paint, it's not coming out. Maybe this marker is already at the end of its life. Which you can refill these, by the way. These are pretty easy to refill, I just haven't done it before. And I'm scared of making a mess, so... But it is a thing that can be done. If we do run out of red, then I actually have like a dark red. And I can also check if I have like more reds. But that can actually turn into a pretty cool, like, we can make it look like this is shaded even though it's a 3D object, you know? Let's see, let me scroll up. You guys are sharing your stories, I like that. When I first got back into MTG, someone at the pre-release event got a free win on me because I forgot to shuffle a card from the last game into my deck. I was new, but it seemed like there are, actually... Oh, like the technicality? Where it's like, you forgot to do this, so I automatically win, you know? Like, it doesn't seem like there's any kind of leeway, right? Because, at least in the locals that I'm a part of, they're very okay with, like, I've done some like really dumb moves and they were like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And they'll explain why it's like a bit of a silly move, and then I'll be like, "Oh no, you know, I should learn from this." And they're like, "No, if you want to take back that move, you could take back that move, you know, like you can rethink it." You know, it's also cuz like I am so used to how the online the unofficial was it DC Go? I'm so used to how DC Go works. Where it's like merciless. If you make one mistake, it's Jover, you know? It's Bibink over. Like, I'm just so used to that. That, like, when I make a mistake, when I make, like, a terrible play. Because they'll even... it's almost like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like your opponent is reminding you that they have a trap card. You know? Like, that they have a face down. It's like, are you sure you want to do that? I have a trap card. This might be able to, like, completely wreck you. And I'm like, oh, you know what? You're right. I should rethink that move. They're really nice about it. They're super nice about it. That's what I appreciate. But it's funny, most of the time I'm like, nah, I have to live with my mistakes. Like, full send it, baby. Full send it and we'll figure it out on the way. But since there were cards on the line, free win is free win. Ah, I see. Some matches are like that. Small card game players are like, thank God another player. Please stick around, I'm tired of playing against Dave. Not Dave. I'm just tired. He just plays the same damn deck over and over and it just keeps beating me. We have a guy at our locals that only plays a certain style of deck, but he's also really good at it. Like, he knows the ins and outs of it. So even if it's not meta, he knows it like the back of his hand. There we go. Alright, we got some good coverage going on. There's a little bit of streakiness, but I think that's fine. Something sweet I've seen, as well as a kid and his grandma were learning how to play One Piece, and the community just gave them bulk that they could build or trade, to the point at the shop where we have a special pile for them. Aw, I love that. I'm literally building my deck as we speak. I'm excited to fight you next time. You play DC Go? Okay, yes, let's do that. I'm kind of excited. Free play or tournaments? Tournaments, you need to know your stuff. Okay, so yeah. This is all free play. Like, or they're technically game, what is it? They're technically tournaments. Like, you know, these are official tournaments by the card. I'm running out of red. No, I'm running out. Wait. We got a shika, right? Shika. Maybe there's a little bit more that we can, like, coax out, you know? There's like a little bit more. No, it's drying up. Alright, let me see if I have another red. Yeah, tournaments, like, regionals. Regionals, like, I know you have to know your stuff. People are not gonna be forgiving with that. Like, you mess up, that's it. But at my locals, like, we're still playing store tournaments, and they are very lenient. So they're super lenient on certain things. Especially for new people, right? Okay, let me see if I have another red that I can use. Disaster. I don't have another red, but it's okay. I'm thinking we can actually use this darker color as almost like a shading. So I think that should also be fine. We can also see what happens when we like rest this marker. If like maybe it's not out, maybe it just needs a little rest time, you know? Because we did put a lot of coverage on here. So let's see what happens when we like use just a brand new color. Cool. But yeah, so in like regionals and official tournaments, yes, you need to know your stuff. People are not gonna let you take back a play, right? Let's see what's a good way to do this. They're not gonna let you take back a play, but at locals, especially if you're still learning, they'll be a little bit more forgiving. At least the community that I'm in. I also see people playing with proxies, you know, as in like they don't have the actual card, but they have like a little printout that says sample on it. They'll also allow for that, you know. I just prefer not doing that because I have DC Go. So I do wish there was a way to track how many points people win in the star catch. I actually don't know how to code that in. That's something I could look into. It's something I could look into because it's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. It's just a fun little thing that people can do. Let's see what happens when I try to coax it. Oh, there we go. We got some paint. We got some paint here. Oh, nice. That is rolling around at the speed of sound. Nice. Yeah, so this might make for like an interesting effect, like almost inky like effect. Not inky, but like a cell shaded kind of effect. Now the real trouble is gonna come if I run out of this color, because I actually use this color a lot as shading for like my brown colors and stuff. But I think we have enough pigment. I think we should be fine. Glitch Mushroom, hello! Hello, hello. It feels bad because I was new back then. I went on to play another decade and such. Nice! It's always fine when playing against proxies as long as they aren't marked. Some cards are just too rare expensive to expect people to own legitimately. Yeah, that's kind of like with all the praise that I'm giving like the Digimon, the community is great, but like the actual card game, it is one of those card games where, or is it all card games where like you do need multiple, so even if you like get a good, you know, a pull rather, you need multiple of them. So it's not enough to have one of your super rare cards. You have to have like at least 4 for it to be viable in a deck. I'm also getting used to the lingo that they use in like trading card games. I recently learned scoop and buy, or buy in, or buy. Scoop is when like or I don't know, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but scoop is like if you if it's like, and it's pretty inevitable that you're gonna lose, right? Like especially if like you have a timer. It's like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose this round, so we might as well just scoop. We might as well just like essentially like give up, but it's so that you can like get really quickly into your like last round, or like into the next round in general, because that was the context of how it happened to me. Is that like I got defeated the first round because it's best of 3. I got defeated the first round, and then I won the second round, or I was like basically going to win. I was basically gonna win the second round. Like, it's funny because someone was right behind my opponent, and they were talking. They're like, yeah, I don't think there's any way I can get out of this one. So he's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop, and then we can get into the last round. But we were already in overtime. Because we have like a 45-minute timer, and then once that 45 minutes is up, we do overtime for 5 minutes. So when that happened, it was like, we have 5 minutes. Do we have enough time for like another game? And he's like, yeah, let's just do it. Because like it had to be like our tiebreaker, right? So it's funny because we just like, we didn't even mulligan. We just like shuffled, started playing, and I think I barely won with like a rookie rush. I was like, okay, I play this, I give this rush, and I attack your security. And, timer goes off. They literally only had like one security card left, and he was like, should I put draw? And I was like, I took out most of your security though. And he's like, I'll just give you the win. I'll just give you the win. Because I think what also added to it is that it was the very last round, and up until that point, I won 0 of my matches. So a part of it is like, please pity me. Like, please, let me just have this one win. And it was for funsies. It wasn't like a serious tournament, you know? So I think he was like, yeah, I'll just give you this. Like, please, I'm just a stinky baby. Okay, let me dry this off. Let's see. You got it. And just make it clear that's what you're doing. So many times I've seen in MTG somebody play something that only wipes their side of the board and the opponent wasn't paying attention and they thought they were scooping. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that did happen to me. Like, when I actually learned the term scoop, it was when I was, like, the one scooping. I was like, ah, man, like, there's no way I can win out of this. And I think the timer was pretty close to, like, ticking down. So I just started, like, putting my cards away. And he was like, oh, are you scooping? And I was like, am I what? He was like, are you scooping? I'm like, oh, what? Like, oh, basically, like, you're essentially, like, forfeiting for that. And I'm like, oh, yeah. What sucks is that sometimes there's an advantage to seeing if you go to time and get a draw, but it's such a dick move. Yeah, in retrospect, I because in Digimon, like, it's not life points, it's like security cards. So if you take away your opponent's security and then land one more hit, then you win, right? By that end point, they had taken out 2 of my security and I had taken out 4 of their security, so they literally just had 1 left. But then the round ended, right? So is that still considered a draw, or is that considered my win? Because, like, I think he was like, oh, should I put a draw or should I put it as your win, was, like, kind of the question. So I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I just pulled a dick move and was like, just put it as me winning, you know? Because, like, is that how it works in, like, for example, Yu-Gi-Oh! If you have more life points, then, like, that's your win, isn't it? Or is that still considered a draw because the game didn't end, you know, it didn't actually end. It's just that the timer went down. I don't participate in card games, but I do like how the cardboard is shiny. Yeah, you know what? Let me see if I have some shiny ones to show you. Here. I might be giving this to someone that I see today. It's Weird Garurumon, Sagittarius mode. And I know it's reflective, so I can't show too much. Yeah, shiny. With Digimon, whoever has the most security by the end of the round wins. Okay, cool. So that was my win then. That was my win. Because now I was like second guessing myself. I was like, did I just bully someone into giving me a win? But I did have more security because I was basically doing like what I guess they call like a rookie rush, where instead of digivolving, you just put out monsters and like just have them attack. And of course, if they are put down on that turn, they can't attack. But if you have like an effect that allows them to do that, or if you like move them up from what's called the breeding area, then you know you can attack. And that's essentially what I did. It's like, I was like, there's only 5 minutes left. There's only 5 minutes left. There's no way we're gonna finish. Actually, I kind of like the decision to make this kind of like a half maroon, half red. I think it's pretty neat. Yeah, thank you for the confirmation, Fugubi. Thank you. Now I don't feel as bad. Alright, let's just finish off the bottom part of this. And then, we will... I'm gonna see if there's any places that I can even out. And then I think we'll put, like, the black part of the face. And what's fun is I don't think I'm gonna put the eyes. Because the whole point of a daruma is, like, you're not gonna put the eyes until you, like, make a goal, right? Funny thing, with Jagras Digimon Evolution, you could attack that turn even if they were both played that turn. Really? That's insane. Ooh, maybe that's why I see a lot of Imperial Dramon players. It's funny, folks were just talking to me the other day. Yeah, day before last, the last time I did a Digimon tournament, they're telling me about, like, the older deck structures, or rather, like, older deck, just the older decks. And it seems like the main fusion Jagras is, Imperial Dramon, right? And Omnimon. But I was like, oh, was there ever, like, decks for Sylphimon, or, what is it, Shakumon? And they're like, yes! But, and it's funny, like, there was a guy there at my locals that was, like, showing me that he actually had a Shakumon deck and a Sylphimon deck. And he was like, they're not good. Like, they're not great, but, you know, you build them anyway. And I kind of like that, too, because the folks at my locals are telling me that, like, I like this deck, but it's not good. But, you know, you build it because you like the Digimon. Because that's how I feel about Monzaemon. He's my teddy bear Digimon. I want to play a Monzaemon deck, but, like, everything I've seen has not been great. Like, apparently the best one so far has been Numemon. That's been a really good deck. And that has Monzaemon in it, but because there was, like, a, I think they limited one of the main cards. Not many people have been playing it, but I don't know. I might still want to check it out. It's got Numemon, it's got Monzaemon, it's got my teddy bear love. It also has a pretty funny character from Digimon Seekers. She is a cop, but she's kind of funny. There, let me see if I can get, like, this inner edge as well. It does feel like there's something very, like, satisfying about getting, like, these inner edges as well. Almost. And then there's like another lingo that I want to go over with you guys that I was learning about. Okay, there we go. I'll put it like this so that it can actually dry. And then I'm gonna fix some edges and then we'll continue from there. There's also Ragna Lordmon, but that barely gets support. Oh, barely gets support. I see. Not to mention, they also had Lord Nightmon deck that started as yellow, but as soon as I got support, it turned into black and purple, making the yellow version useless. Aww. She's a cop, but I'll allow it this once. Exactly. Wait, what is Ragna Lordmon? I've seen that card around, but I, first of all, what series is he from? If he's from a series, or if it's from a series, and what's it a fusion of? Because I've definitely seen it. And I'm pretty sure I saw Lord Nightmon in Digimon Frontier, right? It's the pink one. That I think in the dub, they made them female. Or like a femme-presenting voice, rather, right? So yeah, the other piece of card game lingo that I learned about was a buy? Or like... They said buy-in as in like B-U-Y, but it looks... When I see people spell it on our Discord, it's like the word like, you know, buy, like B-Y-E. But it's basically like if there's an odd number of people in a tournament, then one person just doesn't fight. Like, they're just at like a buy. They get the buy, or I don't know what the like the usage of it. Yeah, when the matching isn't even. So like you kind of just sit at the table by yourself, and yeah, and you get a free win. Like it's funny that you get a free win because I think I was at the buy the other day, and then I looked at my ranking so far, and I was like, I lost every single one of my matches. How am I in 5th place? Like in a tournament of like 10 people. Or I think it was like it was an odd number, so I think it was like 11 or 13 people. It was a lot. And I was like, how am I 5th place right now when I've lost every single one of my matches? And it's because of the buy. Like, you get a free win from that. But it's like, that doesn't feel good, though. Like, for one, like, you're seeing everyone else, like, you know, play their duels. It feels like the meme. Someone actually posted that meme of, like, Squidward in his house as, like, SpongeBob and Patrick are playing together. Let me even out these edges. It kind of feels like that. You're watching everyone, like, you know, do their thing. I think for when I was in the buy, there was like a boba shop, so I was like, I'm just gonna go get boba. I'll be back. I made sure to ask the store clerks though, like, if I leave right now, is that like breaking the rules? And they're like, as long as you're back by the next round, that's fine. It was a Digimon game that started as Holy Weapons one sword and then another a shield, and together they make the Holy Knight, which could fall far either good or evil. Oh, I see. Is that okay? The sword. I think I might have those cards. Is it the Legend at Arms or something like that? It's like Ludomon and another one. There we go. Just evening this out. Okay, cool. That edge looks a little... Oh, actually, let's do this. Make that curve a little bit nicer. There we go. It's like very matte, like M-A-T-T-E. Nice. That doesn't look too bad, I want to say. It's almost like a half and half. The only thing is, like, you see the stroke marks on the red side. I want to see if I can, like, maybe... Come on, maybe there's some more paint in here. Legend Arms. Okay, yeah, I've seen that. There's Ludomon, who I think is like a shield Digimon, and then there is it Spartamon, I think? Not with a T, not like Sparta, but Sparda with a D, is like a sword. And then they have Digivolutions, and I guess so when you fuse those Digivolutions together, I actually don't know their Digivolutions, but is that what forms Ragnalordmon? Because if so, that's a pretty cool concept. I dig it. Oh yeah, let me get these parts as well. Okay, there's a little bit more ink in these. We can put a little bit here too. Oh, did I speak too soon? Mayhaps I spoke too soon. Yeah. Actually, this would make more sense as shaded anyway, so... Actually, let's see if we can do this. Might want to make a cool effect. Where it looks like, you know, if the sunlight is going this way, this part would be shaded, but this part would still be, like, highlighted. It's also just been very interesting coming into Digimon as someone who, like, doesn't have a lot of experience with TCGs at all, versus, like, there's other newbies in my locals. Like, I'm actually not the only one. There's people who, like, left and came back. There's people who are newbies, but they play other TCGs. So there's someone who's, like, relatively new, but they played the Pokemon TCG before. Or they played MTG. So they at least know, like, the lingo. They know, like, certain concepts. And I feel like that does make a difference. Because, as I mentioned before, I was interested in learning, like, the Gundam TCG. And I'm finding myself able to grasp some of the concepts a little easier than when I was trying to, like, understand Digimon. So I don't know, maybe playing TCGs just activates a different part of the brain, you know? Cool thing about them is that they could be wielded by Digimon they think are worthy. Ooh, is that, I'd actually never played Digimon World 3, but I heard that, like, weapons were a part of it. I don't know, has anyone played those games that can attest to that? Because I think I only played 1 and 2 growing up. It's okay if I get into this area, because it's just going to be covered up with black. Let's see, how do we do this part? There we go. Cool. Okay, let's see. Please, please, we just need like a little bit more red. Just like a little bit. Like just this part right here. What if I do this? Okay, there's like a little bit left. We really like exhausted the last of this red marker, huh? You know what? I can also use like a highlight color. We could also play around with that. Shika shika. Oh, and I do think we have an ad break soon. So once I finish this, I'll put you guys in recess. You guys can have your fun in the schoolyard, trading your Pokemon cards, trading your MTG cards and whatnot, playing Pogs, you know, as many of the kiddos nowadays do. Here, I'll put you guys in recess right now. There you go. Alright, I'll see you guys in about 4-ish minutes, because I know the ad hasn't started yet, but I want to take a breaky poo right now. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, we are back. We're back. And you guys were good today. You guys were good. The cars are all intact. I'm seeing not as much chaos as I'm used to. Dia, hello. Hello. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? We are doing some hand cam. I did a little bit of painting off stream. I was really trying to, like, not off stream, but during the ad break. I was really trying to just coax out more of the red, as much as the red as I could, and I think I was able to cover a lot of the spots I was unhappy with. So here's what we got so far. So Dia, just to catch you up, we are painting a ceramic daruma doll. The cards are intact because I just reached Teach. No, are you gonna try and eat me? But yeah, we're painting a daruma doll. We ran out of red, so so that's why half of it is actually like a maroon, like a purple color. And my excuse is that we're gonna make it look like it's shading, so it's gonna have a cool like cell shaded style. Those are cool. Thank you, thank you. We're actually using a reference. There's a new digimon that is based off darumas, so we're actually gonna be like modeling after this one. So I think my next step is I want to put the black in this part. And then, I might want to add some highlights to the red, to this whole, like, red portion. And then we'll start with the, yellow parts. And I want to see if there's a way that we can make them look very, like, glowy, you know? If you have white and blue, you can make it into a Galatian. Oh, a Darumaka! That's right! That's right. That was, like, one of the routes I was, like, yeah, Galarian, yeah. I was like, oh, should I make it based off of the Pokemon? But the timing just so happened that there was like a new Digimon released with a Daruma theme. So it's like, oh, cool, like great, amazing timing right now. So let me just go ahead and make this part a little bit black. And thankfully, we don't have as much area to like cover as with the red. So this doesn't count as me coloring in the eyes, it's just me coloring in the, like this whole face area. Because, if we're able to finish this by the end of the stream, the last thing I would want to do is come up with some kind of wish and or task to, apply to the Daruma. You know, because the whole thing is like you should like make some kind of like wish or task. Fill in one of the eyes and then you don't fill in the other one until it's done, you know? There's a cute little nose here, so. There we go. So, and this is coming out really opaque. I really like it. Like, I don't see any of, like, the streaks at all. But yeah, we were also just yapping a lot about Digimon. Let's see. Think I had a trolley problem question for you? Hit me with it. With the trolley, I mean. Hit me with the trolley. Like, hit me with the question. Go for it. It'd be funny if it's just, like, the straightforward, like, trolley question. It's like, so would you kill 5 people or 1? I think I saw a game. There was like a game where you can like, it's a bunch of like different trolley problem questions, right? Let's do the outer edge of this first. There we go. And fill in this part. Oh yeah, this is looking really nice. A little mistake there, but that's okay. Actually, yeah, I went a little over, but I wonder what we could do about that. Maybe we can kind of like go deeper into like an inky aesthetic, right? Where we like intentionally have like some little like uneven spots here. Give it a little bit of like there's ink blotches, you know? Interesting. Yeah, like kind of intentionally make it a little messy. Son who incorrectly explains other people's culture and mythology to them because he watched Fate, or daughter who incorrectly explains modern geopolitics to people because she watched Italia. These are both hitting me quite hard. It's me, I'm both of them. No, I don't think I would ever explain modern geopolitics incorrectly because of Italia. Oh, they're both kind of annoying. They're both obnoxious because like you could easily get people that are like, actually these two had a wonderful relationship because Faco said so, versus like Italia, like actually Germany was very ooh woo. Or even better yet, like America is actually very ooh woo. It's not like he wants to commit war crimes. I came up with this trolley problem while you were on vacay. I've been saving it for the right moment. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one because like I can see both situations playing out, right? Like, oh my gosh. Like which one do I want to get hit with the trolley more? They're both pretty bad, but I feel like modern geopolitics, especially with just like how things are nowadays, like it's definitely a lot more intense and real. So I would say like hit the daughter who watched Hitalia, because with incorrectly explaining other people's culture and mythology, that's annoying and it spreads a lot of misinformation and it could lead into a misinterpretation of modern geopolitics or just like how you see other people in other cultures, right? So that is pretty harmful. It's also very obnoxious, but like with like modern geopolitics and relating it to Hitalia, freaking people being like, ooh woo, America is just a little ooey doobie hero, you know, he's never done anything wrong. Like, I feel like that's worse, you know? Like, I feel like that's worse. But they're both pretty bad. They're both pretty bad. But that's a fun thought experiment. Very relevant. It's like you can't ask that of like your like history professor, right? Or your like history teacher. You gotta go to like the people that were in the trenches, like we're in the trenches of like Tumblr and Hitalia and Homestuck and all of that. Where's Matthew when I need someone to cringe about Orientalism? I feel it, Vinka. Like, I feel it. I feel the cosmos. Let's see, we did this. I'm wondering. I kind of want to put a highlight all across this area. I wonder. Orientalism. There he is. You activated him. Oh, we still got some pigment here. We have a smidge of red. See if it's enough. The cool thing about acrylic markers, like Posca, is that like you can cover up other layers even if they're darker. It's not gonna work as well on black, but like you see, you can still kind of see what I'm trying to cover up right now. But if I put more layers, I feel like we'll be a little bit more successful. Because it's also drying very like opaquely, or not opaque. That's, I keep using that word. Like a matte. And then let's see what happens when we put some highlights, like right here, for example. I understand your point, however, I fear if one more person incorrectly talk about the gin in front of me with full confidence, I will snap. Like... No, yeah, like I said, don't get me wrong. They're both really bad. Because, like, you know, if someone is, like, going off of fake Go to talk about, like, I don't know, especially, like, indigenous cultures, right? I feel like that's kind of my like, kind of pet peeve is, like, when people, like, misrepresent, like, indigenous cultures. Especially like American indigenous, like First Nations, all of that. That's like definitely like a pet peeve of mine. But also, yes, I definitely feel you with like just any kind of underrepresented culture where it's like, oh yeah, I learned all about that culture from Fate. Trying to think of like some pretty like heinous examples of such. Oh, big one is Quetzalcoatl from Fate. Why is she white? Why is she white and blonde with like teal eyes? You know, like why? Like in the thing is like I know why, because in the lore she possesses the body of like a random woman, but it's like y'all couldn't like possess the body of someone with like darker skin, darker hair, maybe. Like, especially if this is Quetzalcoatl, you know, like he's gonna be possessing the body of like you know, someone that doesn't look like the people that worship him. Here we go, we're putting some highlights in there. A little bit of stylization. Brother, someone called me a weeb because they found out my nephew's name is Karana. Like bro, I'm Indian! Bro! Like... Dude, it's like, oh my gosh, their name is Arjuna? What a weeb. You guys must love Fate Go. And it's like, huh? Like, where my brother in Krishna, where do you think Arjuna comes from? Like... Sorry, Lord Krishna. I realized, like, I should have just said it like that, but... My brother in Lord Ganesha. What do you like? Dude, wait, would that do people do that, dude? You know how people say like my brother in Christ and then like followed up with like where do you think blah 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 comes from? Do people in other faiths do that? Or is that insulting? Would it be like my brother in Buddha? My brother in Lord Krishna? I just stared at them for 2 minutes like, is this a bit? Yeah, if what I just said is disrespectful, let me know. But it's just a funny thing to think about. Like my brother, my brother in Buddha. When a white YouTuber educates his viewers on Ifrit and Jinn, they're the same thing. They're the same creature, my guy. Oh, it's fine if you don't use or you just say with respect anyway. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. I want to read up more on Krishna stories because I'm just so like I'm just so into Ganesha stories. Like I need to give some love to the others as well. There we go. Okay, so this is what we got so far. I might have overdone it a bit on like trying to overcorrect where the light would fall here, but you know. I think now we can start on putting some of the designs. Cause like there's like ooh yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few designs. Oh, there's yellow. Oh, we're gonna have to paint over some of this with yellow, which is fine. That's also fine. That's actually, I kind of want to see what happens when we use orange first. I want to try and see if I can make like a glowy effect. Why YouTuber telling me how the British civilized my people? Oh my gosh. You know what's crazy is that like that's totally trickling down into like I guess I guess like all this to say I've encountered students in my line of work, and remember I teach like 6th and 7th grade, so that is what 11 to 12-year-olds. And in my area of Los Pincos, in like it's a big county, it's a big area, right? But like usually people are a little bit more informed on certain things, but I have encountered students that will say stuff like, "Oh yeah, like the people were civilized by colonization," and I'm like, brother, especially because we talk about the Americas a lot. It's like, oh, like why do people view the Spanish so negatively? Like, didn't they granted civilization? And like, granted, a lot of these stories I've heard more from my coworkers. I wasn't there to experience it myself, but it's still like, giving me the ick. All right, let's do some designs here. I'm gonna do an orange first, and then a yellow. There we go. He's got like a little like triangle design on all sides, like all around the face. Let's see, what time is it now? Okay, I do have to stop in about an hour, but we still got an hour. Oh no, it's uneven, but that's okay. Blueberry but red, hello. Thanks for joining the class. We're doing a little bit of hand cam. Oh, I'm seeing on the camera how uneven that is, but you know what? We're just gonna live with it. But yeah, thanks for joining the class. We're doing a little bit of art today, so feel free to chat or lurk, however you want to do. But yeah, that's foul. Yeah, it's so messed up. Big oof. Yeah, yeah. I've encountered students that will say stuff like that, and it's a little upsetting. At the very least, I know we were kind of like talking about like Fate Go and how it like depicts certain cultures and mythologies. Cause yeah, they take like a lot of liberties with how they depict certain things. A lot. Like, so no one. Oh no, I accidentally. It's okay, I can cover that up. Unless. Oh yeah, I could just wipe it away. They take a lot of liberties with how they interpret certain cultural stories, religious stories, right? But low-key love that they depicted Columbus as just like an a-hole, right? Like, bro is not redeemable. Paco Sensei drew my people well though. Yeah, right? You get an F! An F for freaking racist! Yeah, I love how Paco drew... I like that he draws a lot of the Indian heroes, right? Also, like, isn't there a thing where, technically all of the deities that are shown in Fate Go, like, they are the deities possessing other people's bodies, right? So you're not actually looking at the deity themselves. Like, that's the case with, like, Quetzalcoatl, that's the case with Ishtar. Because I know that Parvati is also in Fate Go, and that caused, like, a big scandal with, like, Indian audience, or South Asian Hindu, like, audiences, right? Because it's like, why are you showing, like, a deity as, like, a little purple-haired girl, you know? But, like, their explanation is like, oh no, he's just like, she's just possessing the body of, like, a purple-haired Japanese girl. Yeah, for Columbus. Yeah, for real. Love how syphilis was basically was basically attributed to Columbus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you were talking about the Fate Go version, and I'm like, that'd be funny. Funny if true. But yeah, the real life version too. The orange doesn't, like, you know, it's doesn't quite look well at the moment. But I think what it is that it just needs, like, multiple layers. I forgot Ishtar was, yeah, possessing Rin, right? And I think Ereshkigal too, because it's like implied that they are, like, the same person essentially, but, like, mythology, kinda, but not. Oh, I've been seeing a lot of, like, Greek god discourse on my timeline recently. And it's because, like, you know, people on Twitter like to start threads of, like, oh, show me an interesting video, or give me, like, your wildest take relating to XYZ. So I saw one that was like, give me your takes regarding mythology. And a lot of it was talking about how, like, um people trying to, like, modernize. I keep accidentally doing that. There we go. People trying to, like, modernize and make certain, I guess, certain stories a little bit more feminist or a little bit more palatable for, like, this age. Sometimes they are doing more harm than good, but also there are, I don't know, it's a very complex situation. It's a very complex conversation to have. Because, like, in certain parts of ancient Greece, like, they just didn't view women as people, right? But at the same time, that's talking about places like Athens. That's talking about kind of like the I don't know, it's kind of like saying that, like, all of ancient Greece was like this, where it might have been different in other parts, but it might have also been, like, crappy in different ways, you know? Because I hear people saying that, like, oh, there was gender, you know, the people were equal in Sparta, right? But also Sparta was all about, like, the military, stuff like that. And even that feels like an overgeneralization, right? But point I'm making is that, like, I know there is, like, some overgeneralization when it comes to talking about mythology. Because what's true in one time period and in one part of a culture might not be true in another time period, or even, like, 5 miles down the road, right? Let's see, they will make let's see. There's more Indian right-wing people who want to talk ish for political mileage. They'll make a mountain of a minor thing to distract from the fact that they are effing up. Shouldn't talk about politics here, my bad. No worries at all. No worries. I definitely know what you mean. You never know, people might want to, like, rock the boat and be like, actually, the right-wingers are doing this. Like, which I think by now a lot of you have kind of gathered my political leanings, right? But I guess the point that I'm making is, like, I can definitely imagine people trying to cause a mountain out of a molehill just to cover up the fact that they're being inept at something. Are you trying to trying to tell me that the Spartans was not an accurate depiction of Sparta? That it's not like 300 where they just kick people down holes? I actually don't know. Like, Greek culture is actually not my forte, even though I love the mythology a lot. But it's funny, I do have a colleague that is, like, she's really knowledgeable. She's, like, super knowledgeable on stuff like that. Okay, so let's do some other designs. There's like a U shape here. I did it kind of uneven. But maybe I can cheat it a little bit. There we go. Oh no, this should be bigger. Or you know what? Let's do this. Ooh, is this a remix of Plastic Love? Oh no! It dripped! We have paper towels though. Let's see how much we can fix and how much we'll need to cover up. I flew too close to the sun! I flew too close to the sun. We can cover it up. This material is pretty forgiving. But still, look at all that. Oh, it's because it was so watery. It's so watery. It's okay. Uh-oh, did the paint... we're good, we're good. I was like, did the paint get on my random mouse pad? No, we did a boo-boo. But we learn from it. I'm a filthy lefty. Hell yeah, brother. No, yeah, right. And I'm aware there's folks in the community that don't lean the same way. As long as we can like avoid, I guess, dehumanizing one another, right, and saying things that will create a hostile environment is cool, you know. And I know that people are on different parts of the spectrum, of like, you know, whether you're like super duper leftist, like communist, like anarchist, or even just like not even centrist, but like you're more liberal, you know. Yeah, like I think that's fine, but we just gotta. It shouldn't be too controversial to say that you should just be kind to other people and that people deserve basic human rights, right? Like, the question is not whether billionaires should exist, but what sauce to devour the rich with. There we go. I'm thinking, well, the thing is I'm pescatarian, so, but for you guys that will partake, barbecue, I want to say, like, spicy mayo, Keep your forking to yourself. Vormention? Mm-hmm. What were we talking about? We were talking about, oh yeah, like people talking about like Greek mythology on the TL, you know? And where was I going with that? There's different iterations of mythologies even within a certain culture. So, for example, if we're talking about Greek, one of like Zeus is famous for essentially like harassing and assaulting people of all genders, really. Like, he's infamous for that. So the post that I saw is what's funny is that this design kind of reminds me of a sperm. Anyway, I saw this tweet saying that like people are trying to interpret Medusa as a feminist role model, and this person was saying that like there are more stories of Zeus, Athena, and Hera saving women than there are stories of Medusa saving women. And let's talk about both points here. Let's talk about both points of like, true, there are more stories of like of Zeus, Hera, and Athena saving women. That doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't the stories where they were really effed up to women. So especially Zeus, right? But I think what's missing in terms of context here is that like we might be talking about different time periods, different towns or what is it? Policies. Most normal take. Now time to get offended. But yeah, like people in different towns, different cities are gonna have different interpretations of the gods, right? Some people will see Zeus as like terrible because he treats women terribly. He like assaults them. And by the way, not even just women, but because he also assaults like younger men as well. But some people might see him as like an arbiter of justice, right? Of divine justice. So this might be in the next town over. It could also be your neighbor because there's also personal worship. There are people who will personally interpret the gods and goddesses differently. And yes, that's also going to be interpreted by how the people around them worship. So if you grow up in a town where it's like, oh yeah, Zeus is a hero to women. He's a hero to like all types of justice, including justice to women. Then you are more likely to be raised in an atmosphere where it's like, yeah, Zeus was, he's my guy. We're not going to talk about the other stories. Whereas in the next town over, they're like, oh yeah, Zeus totally assaulted that person, but also he's a god. He can do that if he wants, There's varying, like, different interpretations of the gods, both on a personal scale, on a city scale, on a cultural scale, and also time period. Because you see this a lot in Egyptian as well, Egyptian mythology or Egyptian religion, as you can also refer to it as. That, like, just 100 years later, the person who was the supreme god, no one gives a crap about them anymore, right? I don't know how often that happens, but it is a thing that happens. So I think that's kind of what that person was trying to say of like, oh, there's more stories of Zeus, Athena, and Hera helping women than there are of Medusa helping Hera. But there's also there's a bit like kind of missing from that conversation. And this isn't necessarily to drag the person that posted that. They're basically saying that like, oh, people are making up their own headcanons. They're like, their own interpretations of Medusa as a feminist figure. Arguably, is there anything really wrong with that though? Because that's what the ancients did all the time. That's what ancient Greeks and Romans did all the time, is that they were coming up with like their own kind of quote unquote headcanons of like who these gods and goddesses and heroes and monsters were, So there are a lot of feminist retellings of, for example, the story of Hades and Persephone. In the original story, Hades stole away Persephone and made her his wife, right? In some iterations of the ancient story, I'm not talking about modern retellings, I'm talking about the ancient story. There's some iterations where it's Hades is more so acting on the word of his brother, saying like, oh, you should take Persephone as your wife, right? And there are they even say in some of the original iterations of the story, like, when Persephone's mother Demeter is looking for her daughter, she happens upon Helios, a sun god, and the sun god's like, yeah, I saw Hades steal her away, but you should be happy because Hades is a good catch, right? like out of all of the Greek gods, he's probably one of the better ones to get abducted by, right? And of course, like, Demeter's not gonna be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, yeah, totally fine for my daughter to get abducted by the better of the men. It's like, no, she got abducted. Like, that's not him being like an okay guy in comparison to his brothers doesn't change the fact that she got abducted, right? But there are iterations where they try to paint it a little bit more sympathetically. Like, even in ancient times, they would be like, oh yeah, Hades didn't trap her in the underworld by giving her the pomegranate seeds. It was her choice. It was her choice to eat the pomegranate seeds and stay in the underworld for half of the year, right? So they try to give a little bit of agency to Persephone, even in ancient times. But nowadays, with like way more like kind of like way more modern like feminist retellings, they give a lot more agency to Persephone. They make Hades even more of like a sympathetic person of like, oh, he didn't steal her away, she wanted to go down there, all this to say is that like there are the modern retellings which, yes, they can be kind of I feel like they're just very indicative of our time. But to reinterpret a myth, I feel like is not always such a bad thing, as long as you are kind of working with the context that you have. There is a line. It's it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of complicated to talk about that because there is a line. If it's like if it's like, you know, a teenage white girl trying to reinterpret the relationship between Arjuna and Karna, right? Like that's different. I feel like that's different. Whereas if it is like a Hindu person that grew up with the culture and they have a personal interpretation of like their deities, then I think that's a little bit different than like someone writing fanfic about Arjuna and Karna, you know, like, and they like are like totally divorced from the culture, you know. Um, but that personal interpretation is basically what the ancients were doing, you know. They were reinterpreting, like a really good example is like the Greeks and the Romans. The Romans were reinterpreting Greek religion in their own context, right? And it's funny, I remember when I was doing research for my like Digimon Olympus 12 video, I saw people using the word appropriate in terms of how the Romans took on Greek religion. They appropriated Greek religion. And it's like, if you think about it, yeah, like they did. Like that wasn't necessarily their culture. They were just like, I like this. Now it's part of our culture, you know? So even back then, I feel like if we were to time travel and go back to like Roman times, I feel like there might be people having these discussions of like, should we be taking, you know, Greek culture and claiming it as our own, you know? It's just that those conversations weren't always written down, you know? But there are, like I said, Greek and Roman culture is not my forte. I literally just like the gods and the goddesses and the stories. So if any of you, I know that some of you might be like more in tune with that kind of research, feel free to correct me. I'm always curious. Headcanon is so real historically. Ancient Hindus used the word Deva for good and Ashur for bad because the neighboring culture's gods were called Ashuras. Yeah, like that's an excellent example. Lower Olympus is a good example of that. Yeah, totally. Lower Olympus is a really good example of that. Like it's a feminist retelling and a lot of people don't like it. I also found it personally like it's not my cup of tea either, but it is like a feminist retelling of like, oh yeah, Persephone is like this a fearsome goddess, you know. And it's not that she's just this demure girl who was abducted. She was like a fearsome death goddess, you know. I think that was like the interpretation that they were going with. Same reason why Deva and devil have a similar root word. Yeah. Okay, now if we get into like the linguistic side of things. Cuz I know that they're both Indo-European language, or I say they, but there's different ones. There's like Sanskrit, there's Urdu, right? But with certain South Asian languages, there's a lot of similar roots. I feel like I'm not going to finish this by today, but we can also continue this next week. And I'm getting a lot of more ink out of the orange. But yeah, this is why I like talking about different religions and different cultural beliefs, even if they're ancient, you know. Well, actually, especially if they're ancient in the case of ones that are still living, because when we talk about like ancient Greek, ancient Egypt, the cultures that are there currently, like in modern day Greece, modern day Egypt, they're very different. Egypt is now Muslim. Greece is more Christian. But there's still some like very long-lived religions like Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, you know, that are still here. And I just think that's cool. You know, there's a has anyone ever read this old manga called RG Veda? Cuz isn't it based off the Rig Veda? Like, I just never checked it out though. I just know that it's like it's from like the 90s. And we're still worshiping cows. Let's freaking go. I mean, why not? They are but the humble cow. Cows are okay. It's funny because Beans has been watching. Are you guys familiar with what is it? Jeremy Clarkson. He was on that one car show. Top Gear. Top Gear. I'm not a car person, so I don't know it that well. I'm literally milking my cow right now in Zomboid Project. All hail the cow. Well, and also that's how a lot of like religions start off, is like you realize what is helping your culture and society thrive, whether it's agriculture or the humble cow, which gives not only meat but also milk, right? So it's like, oh, this cow's pretty cool. I want to honor it. RG Veda has the Ashura was made by Clamp. Yeah, it was made by Clamp. Dude, Clamp is wild. Clamp is wild for that. Like they not for that, but like a lot of things they do, like the JoJo's, the JoJo Dojinshi, where Kakyoin lays an egg, you know? That's pretty ballsy, you know? What else can I add? Ooh, I see some digi alphabet symbols. I might have to redo this entire top part, but I might just do that off stream, and we might do a part 2 to this. And then there's more markings like down here. You know what? The whole thing with this orange color is it's kind of gonna be like a glowy effect, so I'm actually gonna make these a little bit bigger. There we go. And then there's also a symbol here that I will do as well. And we'll do that same symbol on this side. Nice. The orange is coming out really nice, actually. And then it almost looks like he has like whiskers. It's like not even, but that's fine. There was a historical study where there was a point in history where cows had something similar to mad cow disease, so people should have stopped eating them, but apparently they didn't. So religion. This is based on archaeological digs and literature survey in areas of Afghanistan, still the Indo-Gangetic Plains. Ooh! Stuff like that is so interesting because of like, I think that's why archaeology as a whole is very interesting, because you're literally trying to build not even just archaeology, but paleontology as well. You're trying to build a full picture of something. You're trying to build a full picture of something with fragments, right? It's like putting it together like a puzzle piece, but you only have 2 pieces, right? But then based off that, you have to figure out so much just based off context alone. Like I see it with paleontology. I think, by the way, this is the last we'll do before we call it for today, because I might redo some. I might try to fix this off stream, our little drippage, right? And then we'll come back sometime next week to like put some glowy effects, and maybe even we'll make some. We'll use the model magic to make some legs for this guy, because look, he's got legs. He got the legs. It looks good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to fix the part that like dripped down here. But I do want to finish. I am kind of happy with how things are turning out so far. So yeah, but I do want to kind of end off on like, I am digging this conversation, because like with archaeology, paleontology, especially paleontology, because you could have like a you guys familiar with the skeleton of Lucy? The kind of the predecessor to humans, right? Get the random grippers. Got the random grippers. Yeah. It really is coming along. Thank you. Yeah, not done yet, but I like the direction we're going. So with the theory of evolution, one of our earliest kind of predecessors, not ours, you guys, I'm a bear. But for humans, one of our earliest like hominid ancestors was called Australopithecus afarensis or africanus, one of those two. And one of the most famous skeletons of Australopithecus is like an upright walking, not an ape, almost like a predecessor to like humans, right? But they look like they could be chimpanzees, but they're walking upright almost all the time. So they're called Australopithecus, and the most famous skeleton, fossilized skeleton, is one called Lucy. Now, if you... how did I misspell Lucy? Like, Lucy the Australopithecus. It is afarensis. Okay, I'm actually gonna put this away. Put away the webcam, so say goodbye to what we have so far. We'll continue next time. But I will put away the webcam. No, actually deactivate. There we go. Save. There we go. See, I am not only well versed in the art history, but also a little bit of anthropology. There's Lucy. Look at how much of her skeleton we actually have. Like, Darudema. You guys, I'm a bear, Binka 2025. The big reveal. The truth comes out. But yeah, this is what we have of Lucy. This is all we have of Lucy. But just with that alone, and I'm sure there's probably other like I actually don't know if there's other skeletons of Australopithecus. Oh, and look, we have here a bit of our family tree. With that, they were able to make kind of like predictions of like, oh, based off how like this hip is shaped, the rest of her skeleton might have looked something like this, right? But yeah, just based off that, we can like recreate, you know, what... Ooh, it's a 3D skeleton. Yeah, we can like recreate what she might have looked like, right? Prehistoric bare bones. Yeah, if we want to go over my ancestors, we can. So yeah, we have here, here, Australopithecus. And since I took anthropology, it looks like there's been more. Or maybe this was always here and I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, like the hominids, like kind of our your guys' ancestors. You have Ardipithecus. This one I'm actually not super familiar with. I'm familiar more with Australopithecus, Homo habilis, the tool-using man. Homo erectus is the standing or walking man. Oh, and when I was in college studying this stuff, we just talked about the Neanderthals as kind of our closest relatives, and back then people weren't sure if like, did we develop from them? Did we develop separate from them? And now it's become more of a consensus that like they kind of were another branch of our family tree, and Homo sapiens might have even done the dirty with Neanderthals, and that's why well, not might have. If you take like if you take those DNA tests, they'll tell you how much Neanderthal DNA you have. It's almost like a foregone conclusion, you know? Teacher show us ancient bee skeletons, but they... Wait. Like, is this... Are you trying to trick me? Do they actually have skeletons? They're... Or are you talking about, like... I'm glitching. I'm glitching. Like, she said erectus. Are they preserved in amber? The ancient bees, the predecessors. But so we only knew about the Neanderthals when I was in college, and now there's the Denisovans, Denisovans. This is another one. This is another offshoot. There's another, like, we could have been in another world. We could have had other types of Homo sapiens, or not Homo sapiens, but we could have had other types of, like, us, you know? I mean, you guys. I did one of those DNA tests and found out I was more white than brown? Man. Show us the bee's knees? I can. What'd you call me? No, that's what it says. That's what it says. That's what it says. You guys are Homo sapiens. Here, well, let's take a look at where's the search bar? I know that cave bears. Cave bears are my predecessors. My ancestors. It's Grandpa! Aww. It's him asking for a hug. Oh, good old Grandpa. I actually don't know if, did sun bears evolve from these types? I think they came from something called a flat-faced bear. Wait, flat-faced bear. No, there's no flat-faced bear? Okay, let's do a little bit of research. Flat Earth, hello? Where's me? Where's my representation? Where's a werebear? Werebear's here. Sun bear. Okay, we're looking into the family tree. We're looking into the family tree now. Phylogeny. Okay. Possible phylogeny. I am more related to the Asian black bear, the moon bear, so I'm more closely related to Jiro. Let's see. Than I am to, let's say, Folk. Where's Folk on here? Here, brown bear, right? He's a Kodiak bear. I don't think, do I know any American black bears? I don't know if I know any polar bears either. No, I feel like I raided into a polar bear before. Celesta? See, I'm more closely related to Jiro. I don't know if I've met any sloth bears or spectacle bears. Oh no, spectacle bear would be Paddington. That bear is a flat earther. Get him! May I be excused from class, teacher? I want a nap. Yeah, you can go ahead and take a nice old nap. Good morning, her. Unlike you, I am Homo superior. X-Men theme plays. Okay, but what did we evolve from though? Who are the ancestors? I wish to know. Habitat. I know all this. I eat this all the time. I eat plants all the time. Conservation. Yeah, people be hunting us for our bile. People they're trying to hunt us for our precious bile. They're not gonna get it. They're gonna take it over my cold dead bear claws. How did we evolve? Subspecies. Is it phylogeny? So so Ursinae. Let's see who's in Ursinae. Meliers Meyer. The sloth bear. The humble sloth. Helarctos. My scroll wheel is like all messed up. I actually it keeps on like randomly going like down when I want it to go up. So maybe we need to go to the Ursidae ancestor, right? Oh, we'll go back to the cave bear. See, look at him. Look at him. What a guy. There we go. It's Grandpa. He's just rolling around. He's just rolling around at the speed of sound. A juvenile cave bear. How did they get my skeleton? Put it back. Put it back in. Relationship with humans. Look, someone even made a portrait of Grandpa. I think the main problem is that they're always taking it out of your cold dead bear claws. It's true. It's true. My people. Where's my emotes? No, my people. They keep hunting us down. That's why you guys should consider supporting certain conservation places like, what is it? BSBCC? I donate to them every so... Oh, that's not what I meant to show. I donate to them every so often. They are a sun bear conservation group centered in Malaysia, but I think they also have a Japanese wing as well. Look, so if you guys ever want to support the sun bears, my brethren, my sistren, consider going to an organization like this. Yeah, it's a bear charity, a bearity, if you will. For every year for World Sun Bear Day, which already passed for this year, so I'll just remind you guys next year. I do donate to this organization, and it's cute. They will send you is it this site or is it the Japanese one? Fundraising for the bears. I think it might actually be the Japanese one. Let me see if we can find that one. BSBCC Japan. Where is it? Join the conservation effort. Oh, here, yeah, it's this one. It's this one. I'm actually gonna pause that ad break. There we go. Yeah, so if you go to the Japanese site, BSBCC Japan. Oh, that URL does not like Japanese characters. Home of the world's smallest bear. No, Binka, don't dox yourself. I know everyone's gonna know I live in Japan and or Malaysia and not Los Binkos. But yeah, you can sponsor a bear. I didn't do this one. This isn't too bad of a price though. This is like about $100, an annual fee. You can become a member. You could also foster a bear. You could also send gifts. This is what I usually do every year. You can give them honey. And it's only like a little less than $15. You can pay for them to get a new hammock. You can pay for them to get enrichment. I think last year I paid for them to get honey. No, I paid for them to get a hammock. This year I paid for honey and enrichment. So who knows? Each year I might pay for something else. 1 week's worth of meals. Look at that. You can give them a week's worth of yum yums. Maybe it'll even go to me. But no. If you like really want to support the sun bears, there's like accessible ways to do it. The way they do it is it's a Google form. It's a Google form just so that they have like your contact info, and then they'll email you and just to confirm that that's what you want to pay, and then I think they give you their PayPal. So yeah. I think they also have a shop, which I haven't partaken in because I don't know if they ship internationally. But they do have a shop. It's full of like really cute stuff. I should have checked them out well, I don't think I could have gone there when I was in Japan. But look, this is also cute. The shirt. The shirt with the tongue. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're able to, support them. Stingless bee honey. Why not try stingless bee honey, a favorite food of Malayan sun bears? Mitsurindo and the Borneo Malayan Sun Bear Conservation Japan have collaborated to sell products with donations that will benefit Malayan sun bear conservation efforts. Nice. So if you like a little bit of honey with your snacks. If you want to feed Binka, petition your congressman to increase school funding. Yes, please, we need more funding. I can't just keep eating Oreos all day, please. Technically they are vegan, but you know, I'm just so full of Oreos. Binka's balikbayan box to the bear cousins in Southeast Asia? Yes, exactly. But yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna call it for today. What are we moshing to? Wait, let me make sure that there's no raids. We're about to stop. Ooh, someone's debuting. Ooh, Baby Metal Con featuring Bloodywood. I think I know exactly what we're listening to. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it here. I do need to start prepping to go to my locals. But let's mosh. I haven't heard the song yet, so it's Baby Metal and Bloodywood. Let's go. Talking about Oreos, I forgot I still have the same mint Oreos left over. That's a good flavor. Rate target, 4 milks and ham or strimmin. Ooh, okay. Is Randon still streaming or did he finish off for the day? You know what? I raided into him last time, so I do feel like I should do either 4 milks or ham. So let's mosh and then wait. And then we'll go. I think he ended? Okay. Donate now to stick Babinka in the orb for enrichment! No, don't do it! Don't do it! I do not wish to be orbed. Ooh, this looks cool. Wait, why is the quality like this, though? That was awesome. No, not the ad. Quiet, you! Here, got the link to the Sunbear Sanctuary so I can wire the not rigging fund! Well, I do appreciate the interest in supporting the Sunbear, so give me a second because I exited out of it. This is the shop. Join the conservation effort. Here we go, send a gift. It's this one. And it's not a not rigging fund, it's to support my brethren. It's to support my brethren. But alright guys, let's go ahead and call it here. Wish me luck on today's tournament. It's a regulation, I'm really bad with that deck. And we are actually going to raid into Folk. He is doing a collab with Toga Nebula and they're doing a Soul Link. They're playing Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Soul Link, so they're both kind of linked in their I was about to say Digimon, in their Pokemon. So yeah, it should be fun. And if you guys don't know Folk, he's a fellow bear, and Toge is a cute bat. So yeah. Hope you win your children's card games. Thanks for the stream. Good luck with your tournament. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and raid. I'll see you guys sometime next week. And as always, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Bye-bye. We raid.